Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm Mike, and today I want to talk about music and how, in my eyes, um, it's basically, I don't want to say it's dead. It's not dead, um, but man, is it dying? Okay, so like this. Let me back up a bit. Where this all started for me. Um, I guess it was about a week or two ago. I uh, I put on my phone and hit shuffle, and a couple of '80s songs popped in, a couple of '60s songs, a couple of '40s and '50s songs, etc., etc. Um, and in between these was some modern music, and it occurred to me right then and there the difference was really glaring. You had in the like the 40s, 50s, 60s, music had heart. Um, there was like a message to it. Um, you had some fun, riffs and beats and whatnot too. But like for the most part, it was either like doo wop, which was more fun and lighthearted, um, ballads about love, falling in love, whatever. In the '60s, you had rock and roll that really did like speak about things and um, just gave you like the lyrics had a sense of purpose. Um, '70s was all about just a nice dance beat for the most part. Uh, you had the jazz and the blues in the '60s and whatnot, the '50s and '60s that were really excellent. Always had a great message. Then the '80s came. The '80s was all about fun. It was about just getting you like out there and zoning out to like a nice, good beat, good riffs, whatever. Very catchy music. Um, Not a whole lot of meaningful messages in the '80s. It was just about fun. '90s came. '90s, in my opinion, nowhere near as good as the previous eras, but still a lot of messages and content meant to like speak to people, especially the sad lonely people who like dressed all in black and wore you know eyeshadow, whether you were guy or not. A lot of music for that. Either way, music made for people to speak to people. And then 2000 arrived, and music died. No more was there any message in music. No more was it meant to speak to a certain person or type of person. No more did you need any talent to hit the top of the charts. Now you could basically just mumble into a microphone. Meh, 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 I like cars. Meh, 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 I like cars. And you'd go platinum. Just repeat the same thing over and over again. Maybe just put it to a hook or a beat, and it goes platinum. And then 2010 and up to now arrived. And you started seeing mumble rappers. You started seeing, the garbage like Katy Perry filling the airwaves. Um, and it's just you're a firework. What? What? You're a firework. That's the best you can come up with. You're supposed to be a professional musician, and the best you can come up with is, baby, you're a firework. Like, really? Like, come on. You go from from like Led Zeppelin. You go from Elvis, the Beatles, um, White Snake, Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen. Um, I like just off the top of my head, like Michael Jackson. You go back through their classics, and what you have now topping the charts is, you're a firework. You're a firework. No, no. Like, okay, I'm sorry. And I get it. Okay, like I understand why it's happening, right? It happened with all of us. When I was a kid, right? And you I would go on vacation with my family. In the car ride, what would be on the radio? And this has happened to every child at some point. What would be on the radio is what your parents listened to, whatever music they were into. And as a kid, you want to hear what you want to listen to. So when you don't and you're hearing this, it's dead, you automatically hate it because it's not what you want to hear. So then you're like, I don't want to hear that. That's not my music. I'm going to get my own type of music. So, like, at first, I hated the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Didn't want any part of it. I was all 80s music or nothing. 80s or nothing. And then as I got older, as I became like a teenager and then in my 20s, I started to realize, wait a second, this is actually really good. Like, whatever. But, um, because of, like, each, and I guarantee you, like, kids growing up in the 70s, like, all they wanted to hear was disco. They didn't want to hear the 60s. They didn't want to hear the 50s. Growing up in the 60s, you didn't want to hear the doo-wop. You wanted to hear the 60s. You want to hear Led Zeppelin. So what happens is each generation is born and thinks their music is the good music because it's not what their parents listen to. So unfortunately, if you were born in the 2000s or like right before the 2000s, you were stuck with, this is my music. This is the anti-parents music. So you were basically sitting there like, well, this is my option. This is my generation. It has to be good. This is what I'm going to listen to. Because you were left with no alternative. And unfortunately now, it's getting worse and worse. Music is trash now. You have these bums coming out and like, okay, Kanye West sucks. I am sorry. He is horrible. Most overrated of all time. And the fact that he considers himself like a god among, like in music, makes me physically ill. Dude is garbage. Hot garbage. He couldn't touch Michael Jackson on Michael Jackson's worst day. Um, he couldn't touch Prince on Prince's worst day. Um, hell, he's not even as good as Usher, and Usher ain't all that. All right, so that's like the fact that Kanye, guys like him are the standard. Katy Perry, uh, Taylor Swift, like no, no, you trash, you garbage, you don't have what it takes. Um, you literally, your music isn't music. It's just a hook and a beat with nothing of substance. It's not even it's not even the fun kind of substance like the 80s had. It's just yeah, it's just there. It's there and it exists. But it's popular because you have the kids growing up in this era that are like, that's what they're hearing on the radio. So to them, well, it's on the radio. This is good stuff. This is what I'm growing up with. I see it with my nieces. I did my best, right? When they were little, when they were like 4, first thing I did when I knew they would like sit and have a conversation with me as soon as they were old enough, first thing I said to them, I'm going to give you some life lessons. One of the first ones, Justin Bieber is not music. Do not listen to Justin Bieber. Do not listen to One Direction. This is not real music. And for the most part, like, it took hold, but I do see them listening to things that just like Ed Sheeran or whatever the hell his name is, like, ugh. And they love him. And I just sit here and I'm like, why? Why do you love him? Like, everything he does is depressing. His music is depressing. Um, but it's their generation. You know, I can't completely blame them because while I did my best and they did not listen to Justin Bieber because they knew better, um, they're going to, things are going to fall through the cracks. Um, and in the next decade, as music gets worse and children are born in that generation, they're going to be like rooting this music on and they're going to be listening to it. And it's just a shame. It's a shame. We need some people to step up and make music similar to the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 40s. I don't care. Like, someone needs to step up and make real music again that has substance to it, that has soul, that has heart. Because none of today's music has any of that. I'm a huge hip hop fan, right? Like, Africa Bambaataa, awesome. Like, insanely good. Nas, awesome. Biggie, awesome. Tupac, overrated. Whatever. Not even gonna get into that. Um, but now you have guys like Wiz Khalifa, freaking Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, arguably the worst to ever do it. And this man has made hits after hit because people listen to him because they don't know any better. Are most likely because they've never heard good hip hop before. So they listen to what's out and they think this is good. So they buy the records, they buy the music, albums, I should say. And it's so bad. Like when you have these dudes who can't form a legible sentence, going like making money hand over fist. I watched I think it was Birdman. Um, Whoever does this song "We Dem Boys" literally says nothing in the entire song, pretty much, but holla holla, we dem boys. Nothing else. This song made money for him. Money enough to appear on big, like, venues and whatnot and do it on TV for special appearances. Like, y'all know I watch wrestling. This dude came out and did, like, a thing for, like, a wrestling pay-per-view or whatever. And I literally was watching and cracking up laughing, going, what is this? Are you serious right now? Is this really, like, this is the guy that they got? This is a song? There's nothing to this. It's just him repeating the same thing over and over. What? WTF? Like, what? What? So, yeah, it's frustrating because I'm a music fanatic. Music is my go to. If I'm in a bad mood or I'm having a bad day, whatever, I turn on music, and like it's a calming force to me. Um, when I if I go in for surgery for any reason, like when I got my gallbladder out, I didn't like prepare any other way other than listening to music all the way until I was wheeled into surgery. Like as they were wheeling me in, and like I was drifting under, I was listening to music. Music is like a huge passion of mine. So to see it literally rotting from the inside because nobody wants to bother to make actual music anymore, um, they just want to make a quick buck by cobbling together a quick beat and a couple of lyrics. Um, that's not what music is. Music is not a catchy hook and a catchy beat. Music is supposed to be something that speaks to the soul. It's supposed to be something that like touches like another person in here, like speaks to them on a personal level. That's what music is supposed to be. And somehow we've lost that. Like and it's annoying. Annoying and frustrating. And more than a little heartbreaking, but whatever. I mean, that's basically my rant on the death of music or the impending death, whatever. Um, I'm gonna be recording another episode or two back to back. So if you see me wearing this in preceding episodes, you know why. I'm trying to do a little catch up since I've been slacking again. Again, I keep apologizing. I know. Just bear with me. I did get a PC set up, so once I figure out how to do like editing and maybe even record from my PC, or whatever, things should go a little more smoothly. I'm gonna try to figure it out, but anyway, I love you guys. Remember to treat others the way you want to be treated.